I'll always be grateful for spending that last morning that Tony was on earth with him. Typically, my husband would go to bed way earlier than I ever did, and I tended to be a night owl. So that night, I stayed up late playing some silly little computer game, and I remember looking over, and I looked at the clock, and it was about 3 a.m., and I thought, well, Tony's going to be waking up soon, so I'm going to do something special. I'm going to cook him some breakfast and send him to work with a full belly. So I went into the kitchen, and I made him a beautiful omelet, some bacon and some biscuits, and made fresh coffee, and had it all setting out for him, on one of those TV tray tables right on his end of the couch, so he could sit there and watch the news and have his breakfast. It wasn't something I normally did. He comes out from the bedroom promptly at 3:45, and he saw the plate of food, and he looked at me, and he walks over to the door and opens the door and looks at the house numbers, and I said, "Baby, what are you doing?" And he said, "Well, hell, I just want to make sure I was at the right house." He laughed a minute and then sat down and enjoyed his meal, and he was just in the best mood. It was just a different day, it was different. So after he left for work, I went on and laid down for a little while and got up and pretty much just piddled around at the house. Later on, towards the evening, about 6 p.m. or so, I remember the girls and I were sitting on the couch, and I wasn't even dressed. I had just had a t-shirt on, and I was with my daughters, and we were just watching TV, and then a white Suburban pulled up in the driveway, and I knew something was wrong. My younger daughter was sitting there drawing a picture, and I didn't even know anyone was there until the dog started barking, and my younger daughter looks out the window and she said, "Mom, why is Mr. Clay here?" Because he'd never been to my house before. I didn't know why he would be there. I knew something was wrong, and I had this sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach that I needed to get out of the door as quickly as possible. So I sent Allie, my older daughter, out, and I said, "Go see what he wants." And and I went and grabbed my clothes and was getting dressed so I could go out and see what it was. And while I was getting dressed, Allie came back in and she says, "Mom, Clay needs to talk to you." And I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "I don't know, Mom, but he won't tell me. He just wants to talk to you."